Hey guys, what's up? It's Tyler Kluver. This is the Snapped Podcast. So glad that you're joining me. On this podcast, we're going to talk about diet, exercise, mindset, training, sports, performance, and any of the things that we discuss, me or the guests that I bring on, is going to help you get better and help you get healthier in some way or another. We're glad you're here. Sit back, relax. Let's have it. Back in the pink sweatshirt. I'm not sexist or gender specific here, but some would say pink is a girl's color. It's a softer color, a feminine color. It's always, the blue or the pink when you're having the kid, right? 2021. So I don't know, where you stand with all that, but I know this. It's a soft color, soft on the eyes, and I'm feeling soft. And I'll tell you about that in a second. Last week, I did a podcast. This podcast, the episode was based on injury and whether you were hurt or injured, and if you could continue to go and using that as an excuse to break up your schedule or take a day off because you just didn't want to. And I talked about how I was in the middle of being hurt / injured with my back and how I had a rib out of place or whatever. Well, went to the chiropractor and got that popped back in, or what I thought was popped back in. Felt better for a little bit. And I think I've mentioned several times on here in the last few weeks that I've been on the last 2 months, I've been on a bulking phase, gaining weight, getting stronger phase, which means lots of heavy lifting. And I'm pretty sure this is not diagnosed or confirmed, but I'm fairly certain at this point that I have a cracked rib. Oh, I cracked my effing rib, dude. And how do I know that? I'm fairly well versed in injuries and things that happen to specific parts of the body. So, oh, you got an ankle? Okay, is it a sprain? Is it just a twisted ankle? Is it something that's going on with inflammation? Oh, your knee's going on. Is it a PCL, ACL, meniscus, quad? What? Tell me a part of the body, and I can probably get deeper into what happened and what's going on the inside without actually being a doctor than most normal people can. But the ribs, which are already a weird sort of bone joint kind of concoction, never had anything go wrong with my ribs before. And so I kind of thought, I've been with plenty of people who get ribs that are like twisted out or kind of out of place and need adjusted back in, popped back in. And that's just what I thought it was. But after having the chiropractor pop me back into place in the exact spot that it should have been okay, that was good for about 20 minutes. And then you sit in the car on the ride home and you get up and you sit down and it hurt again, right? And I'm fairly certain it's not a muscle thing. I've done heat and stim on it with a little e-stim machine, and I've had the only thing I haven't had is a massage. I just in my head no, and I didn't want to do this, right? It's been 3 weeks two nights ago when I finally Googled cracked rib. It had been about 3 weeks, and yeah, I mean, it's a cracked rib. The symptoms are exact. It makes sense why sometimes it feels good and why sometimes it doesn't. I should turn that around. Sometimes it feels bad and sometimes it's okay, right? Because if it lines up and everything kind of is in place and it's correct, then it feels all right. But in a lot of spots, it hurts bad. A couple times, 2 times specifically, I've gotten to the point where like it gets so tight and the pain is so sharp that I can't breathe, you know? So that's good. All good. Hey, baby, all good. And so the Snapped podcast, well, it just turned into reality because I snapped my shit up, snapped my rib. I had other plans for today's podcast, but today is going to be less of a topic that I'm going to talk about and more of a personal what's next. And there probably won't be a whole lot to it. So the goal was to finish this 12-week strength cycle that I built for myself, which is really kind of sad because I'm not going to be able to finish that out and see. I love the data, right? I love the data of it. And I wanted to see like how much I truly got stronger through that time. And I had already gotten so much stronger. I mean, I was halfway through it and I was halfway through it and I was close. I was getting very close to already doing for 5x5, 5 sets of 5, what I maxed out at before I started the program for 1 set of 5. So I had already made clear gains. Yeah, I got a little bit stronger. I probably put on a little bit of muscle and a little bit of fat. I don't know if it's really going to matter once I start to drop this weight here as part of what I'm going to do next. But at this point, lifting is out of the question. Similar to a broken finger or a broken toe, even less so. There's not a lot you can do for a cracked rib. And so you just kind of have to let it heal on its own. And that takes about 6 weeks. And I lifted on it Monday. Today's Wednesday. I lifted on it Monday. And I'm pretty sure I cracked it. So can't say that I've probably been recovering or really in the mending process until probably, yesterday or today. And so now I'm trying to be very careful with it and not put it in positions where it hurts and just kind of ride this out. So, we're probably looking at least a month, maybe more. And that kind of puts an X through the strength program. I'm not going to be able to lift weights at all. I might try and do some upper body stuff, like where I can just like curl or whatever. But your chest cavity, your thoracic cavity, and your diaphragm, core, abdomen area, I mean, your torso is where you generate your stability from. And you have to fill with air, right? And brace, use your core muscles. All of that hurts right now. And so doing anything like a squat or a deadlift or even a bench is even worse because I'm supported. Like I've got I guess if it's in the right spot, it's maybe the best one. But if it's not, like I laid down on the floor even just the other day to try and do like a sit up. And if it's not in the right spot, that pressure against my back, not good. So, no lifting. Going to be a lot of walking. I've been meaning to order an air bike, a Rogue Echo bike for a long time, and I just haven't done it. Mostly because it was snowy, and you got to have a decent amount of area to put that thing together. And I was waiting till it got nicer out, essentially. And so now that that's happening, it's probably a good time in conjunction with the injury to get the bike. I don't know. I think if I go light on the bike with my arms, I should be able to move my upper body. If not, I might just have to pedal which is fine too. I can get cardio in and walk, and that's going to be my next month, which is shitty. Because I'm going to lose muscle, I'm going to lose strength, and it's going to be harder to lose fat. And I've built up, like about 15 pounds worth of weight that I planned on eventually losing through high intensity interval training with weights and stuff. So, but that's what it is. It is what it is. Because if I keep going and I try to tough it out, or I continue to train on it, the risk of injury is only greater. And doing that through pain doesn't sound, all that necessary. So, so what now, right? Well, hopefully I recover in a month, 4 weeks. Hopefully by May 1st, as this comes out on March 31st, hopefully by the end of April, I am better. That would be nice. And then May 1st, we'll start a cut period, probably. I'm not sure what I'll be able to get my weight down to in a month without working out. I guess, and here's another thing. That's its own kind of trial in its own, right? And I know that when I was initially cutting down from 243 to, I made it to about 184, I think, was at my lowest. I did the first about 40 pounds of that down to about 205, which is ironically where I'm at right now. I did the first 40 pounds with no exercise, not even really walking on it. It was just straight diet change. So should be able to get down pretty good. I don't know if the 205 to the 180s or that 190 mark will be tougher. Obviously, it will be. I don't know if it'll be really, really tough, but we'll see. And then I'll just have to pick up again on May 1st. May, June, July. I'm going to be running some races later on in the year. And then shortly after those races, I'm going to be training CrossFit pretty hard. I'll be training CrossFit pretty hard through all of it because next year, the CrossFit Open actually just finished, but next year's CrossFit Open, I plan on doing and trying to actually compete a little bit in it. So I want to make the next round qualify out of the Worldwide Open into the quarterfinals. You have to make the top 10%. And then, if I can do stuff further than that, maybe, but I'd love to try and compete in that. And yeah, but everything's a little bit on hold right now. When I come back and I start training again, I don't think that I'll do a mass building program. I may try and redo the strength program, which will be a lot harder while trying to maintain weight than allowing myself to gain weight. We'll see how that goes because my strength still needs a lot of work. But that's about it. It'll be cut season because summer will be right around the corner. And as superficial as it is, you're at the pool more, you're at the lake more, taking pictures. I want to be cut up. And if I have the means and the knowledge and ability to get to that, why not be cut up for summer and look good? So that's the goal. Operation Look Good starts May 1st. And for now, your boy and his cracked rib are just going to hang out. And so, yeah, sick podcast, dude. So many people listened to that and thought, great information. That's an update on me. So if you follow me on Instagram, or I'll probably still tweet fitness stuff because we're going to have a challenge coming up in June. But if you don't see me posting a lot of stuff, it's because I'm not working out and I hate it. So that's it. Snapped episode, whatever. Snapped episode, cracked rib. Hashtag cracked up like a little. And this podcast is going to continue, though. I mean, just because I crack a rib don't mean I stop doing the pod. So guarantee that. I guess, if you got an injury or have a setback or whatever recently or currently, use this as like a nice little, everyone's human, right? Tyler cracked his rib. I hurt my shoulder. Everyone goes through setbacks. It's all good, baby. Life is good. I'll talk to you next week.